Hello, YouTube. Michael Constantine here. I want to talk to you about problems with domestic violence. I was a victim of domestic violence. I had a partner, a trans masculine woman I was in a relationship with. I was married to her for almost 9 years. And she had undiagnosed dissociative identity disorder. She would get drunk, call me names, act physically violent towards me, push me and try to wrestle with me, dig her nails into my arm, and in one case she tried to bite my wrist. One night while I was sleeping, it was early in the morning, I woke up after having a dream somebody was attacking me. And in actuality, she had drugged me with a drug that had been used on her to sexually assault her by somebody else that I wasn't aware of. And she had gotten a buck knife, a small semicircular knife, and she had cut my face. At the time, I couldn't even feel it because she had used a liquid vapor opiate on me. She had placed this rag soaked in chemicals over my nose and my mouth. And it was terrible because I was dreaming I was being attacked, and I woke up swinging. And I was swinging in her direction. I didn't even realize that in actuality she had attacked me. So I went back to sleep. She put makeup on my face, this foundation powder, some kind of compact powder, that brown powder that a lot of people use. And I guess she drugged me again because later on I didn't even feel anything. And I woke up and went to work, and my boss asked me where I got the cut on my face. And I said, "What cut?" And that was the last mention of it that there was. I reached up and I touched my forehead like, what is he talking about? I didn't realize that I had married a sadist. I had married a narcissistic sadist. This was a person who was a sociopath that turned psychopath. She hurt animals. She hurt me. She hurt others. People who were vulnerable, people she was responsible for. And I had no idea because every time anything was happening, I wasn't around. She ended up dying almost 6 years ago. And in the ensuing years, the 2 years that followed, I got sick from a virus she infected me with through having been sexually assaulted by somebody else without my knowledge, and she didn't tell me. It was a screwed up relationship that she had been involved in. She started out as a victim, and it eventually turned consensual. And she gave me this virus, very much like COVID, actually. And I spent the next year and a half after she died very, very sick, to the point that I lost the capacity to even get up out of bed. And I would cough and cough and cough, and it wasn't even productive cough. And eventually, I ended up having to go to the hospital because it got so bad that I almost died. Sometimes, because of the nature of how these domestic violence attacks occur, victims can't remember for a long, long time. And most of the time when she was attacking me with the drugs, she wasn't even telling me it was happening while I was sleeping. She would drug me to allow other people to take advantage of me as I slept. And she would drug me so that she could do things with other people in the same room or in the same bed or both as I was sleeping. I know because I woke up a couple times without realizing that what I was seeing was not a dream or a nightmare. This was something that was happening right there next to me in reality. Because the nature of how I was exposed to these substances, I didn't even realize what was happening, what was being done to me. I didn't understand that in reality, these events that I was dreaming about were actually taking place. This is one of the most exceptionally bad stories that you'll hear because I was tortured. She tortured me on and off for 9 years, and I wasn't the only one. This was an extremely evil, sadistic person. And the person who had tormented her was even worse. Now I spend my life writing for and advocating for people like me and trying to change social policies so that those people can get help and protection and support, because I couldn't get those things given how I look. People wouldn't think something that terrible would happen to somebody that looks like me. But it can happen to anybody. There's a lot more to share. In time, I'll tell the full story. I'm working on publications that explain everything at length.